Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. Egbon Dele Odulaja, thank you so much, Tabu, for joining me tonight. Please share the broadcast. Merry Christmas to every one of you.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í kó níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí. Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Maiyegun dá ọba bá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í.
Please let me know if this audio is perfect on your screen. Just before we continue, I sense that the video is somehow lagging, so I'm going to fix that in a moment. Share the broadcast. Once we have everything working perfectly well, we will continue, and it's going to be interesting tonight. I've not had my Hardtalk in a while, so I'm in that spirit tonight. Share the broadcast, invite others, tell them Maiyegun today, and I'll be back in a moment.
Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi go only do I more. O Mary Wonizu Biroya Abakare. Mamanda Ora, Unapuri Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapuri Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapuri Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, and Python dance 3. Unapoli Mary Nandi.
Thank you so much. I hope this somehow fix it, okay? Please let me know. I'm going to read the comments. If we have any issue with the video, the audio, I will quickly pay attention to that so that we don't really just keep talking and talking when it's no longer interesting. So share the broadcast. And if you have read the caption of the broadcast, see, we have 2 hours, okay? If we manage our time very well. I'm going to talk for the next hour. Then the hour after that, which is the second part, will be you coming on, adding your own contribution through the phone in, calling, and it will be a pleasure to hear from you today. So the caption of the broadcast is that they made Nigerians poor, too weak to fight. And if you pay attention very well, some of you are actually watching me live. If you pay attention to the comments, you are likely going to begin to agree with me, because the Nigerians that I know, they will give credence to everything I'm about to tell you. I will dramatize, I will, as usual, to make it kind of more interesting and then understandable to my listeners, you. Nigeria is not working. Nigerians knows that Nigeria is not working. But as their leaders reject every possible means of, fixing it or making it right, so are their followers, which we call the Nigerians themselves. Now, the politicians and the decision makers, the policy makers, your politicians, they have succeeded in ensuring that an average Nigerian is so poor that his most and main concern, majorly, is how he is going to feed this next morning. Now, when that becomes the primary concern of human being, how am I if I don't figure out how I'm going to feed next? Definitely, I'm probably going to starve to death. So in this regard, the politicians know this, and Nigerians have no time for what you call, oh, why don't you take them up? Oh, let us go on there and stage a serious mass protest in a country with over 90 million unemployed people, 40% of the population unemployed. And that's even being generous, according to some people out there. So for those who even have the means that they call means of survival, a job, when you look at what they call the take home, starting from what they call the spending, what do you call it, purchasing power, or do you call it purchasing power or spending power? Something that gives you the economic power to be regarded as human being. What are the things that gives the economic power? If you have a job and your take home pay can actually take you home, yeah, which means your job can take care of your need. I mean, under the current circumstance. So in Nigeria, even those who have the job, yeah, we call them the underemployed. They are not different from the unemployed. Their take-home pay can take them home. This is where you have graduates who claim to be working, earning 25,000 naira, working either at a Chinese factory or the Indian factory, or working, what do you call it, at a private primary school. A graduate, somebody who should be more productive and useful to that economy in the other way, helpful to himself. But the way Nigeria is structured, right, the opportunity is so limited that even those who are the victims of the limited opportunities, those who live below the rung, under the rung of the ladder, those who fall within that you would expect that, which make the majority, by the way, that you would expect to feel like this is unbefitting, this is unacceptable. Just like some of us will say, this is inhuman. You can't treat people like this. But the people themselves are too weak to fight back. And that leaves us with some of us who are still managing, who has managed to crawl the ladder of that economic imbalance in that country. So expecting the Nigerians to fight the fight the way many of us would expect, the reason why it's not really working out is so obvious. Politicians made them poor, too poor to have the strength to fight anything back. So in most cases, Nigerians have become so poor, so weak, that they give the fight to God. Majority of them believe that God will take care of their oppressors. God will probably deal with them. That mentality of people who have surrendered. But you also have those who are supposed to be in the middle class. Psychologically, those ones too have been weakened. Too poor, intelligently poor, that all they do is majorly to enable the ones above them who are actually the oppressors there. So now when you now have to talk about leaders and you probably don't pay much attention to the followers, something happened, which in fact will be the basis of what I'm about to share with you now. Something happened today in Abuja, and it was a shopping mall. a shopping mall on fire. And this is a good example because I'm going to share it with you. It's a good example of how rotten, how poor Nigerians are, that they will feed, possibly even on themselves, if it will give them temporary, what they call temporary comfort or succor. A shopping mall owned by Peter Obi, it's like a franchise. They call it Next Cash Carry. In Abuja, Abuja is meant to be the capital of Nigeria, the city where at least the middle class should be living majorly. But it is also the cesspool or the textbook definition of the poorest city in the whole world. If you want to describe the poor cities, you will put Abuja in one of them. It used to be one of the beautiful because people there had jobs until now. A shopping mall was on fire. Nigerians have no empathy, no sympathy, no kind of a sense of patriotism, any humanity to feel like, what can we do to help rescue, if there are humans in this building, to help rescue as many as we can before the entire building goes up in flame. Something you will see out here, but maybe not in Africa. I know we have seen even something like wars like that in South Africa, because South Africa is also a poor country pretending to be rich, but Nigerians will tell you it's better than us. Back to Nigeria. There was no feeling of let us rescue. If there were anyone in there, people ran into that burning building, the burning stores. They started breaking everywhere and they started looting. Average Nigerian walking about, like I told you, an average Nigerian is not really upset when he's complaining about corruption or complaining about injustice done by those who claim to be powerful or rich and the rest. Majority of them are complaining about those things simply because they are not the ones doing them. So I was observing that video today and I was like, this is the age of social media. Everything that happens everywhere, everyone gets to see it, except if you are not really interested. Yeah? Except if you're not really interested. And if you sit down very well to study that, you can tell that Nigeria is gone. Nigerians have been completely destroyed. And let me tell you something. Most of those abnormal things, they look normal to them. That is why you will see somebody seeing a burning building and he rushed in to pack a mattress, to carry what do you call it, a cooker, something that he probably won't be able to carry all by himself, but he will be struggling to have it. Stealing electric kettle. Things that you'll be like, what would that do to you? Because you will be arrested if it was a working country. But when I was watching that video, when some people are saying, what is all this? Why are you looting? Why are you stealing things? These shops are owned by Nigerians like you. They are owned by people who are struggling within that, terrible economy, that Buharinomics. Well, to them, look at this shopping mall. If anything happen like this, if I have opportunity, I can break here. Some of them ran there to go and steal phones. But do you know that in that same comment, some Nigerians are regretting that they were not there? Man, I just left Abuja just about 2 hours ago. I left Abuja last Saturday, I wish I was there. There's this shop. I wanted to go and carry 75-inch. The empathy. Some of them will tell you they are joking. Exactly. They are not joking. It is the same mentality that Nigerians have, that if you have an opportunity to be in political office, making decisions, taking decisions, and the rest of that, and you ended up stealing from them, Nigerians believe that it is a normal thing for you to steal. It's just that don't steal too much, or at least do something. Because according to them, if they have that opportunity, they will do the same thing. Let me show you something, what happened. And then I will also tell you something as well after this. But first, let's see that burning part first.
The only thing that they have the fire service.
Oh my God. Jesus, you want the fire service because anybody around you.
Right. Then, like I said, this also happened. Let me see if it's the right one. So, one sec. Fingers steps.
In this Next Cash Carry, I'm the youngest of life. I'm the youngest. I know the video. Now here be my work. Now here be my CV. I supply Next every blessed month. I have 2 workers working for me. I'm a supplier of silver test, yam panda and blender.
Tell us what happened.
What happened is that why it's paining me is that I gave them my books of January and February inside December. And it was not being signed. It has not been signed. No man, Next is a place where Next does not have product. Next is just a warehouse where you bring your product, you sell, you give them their percentage. If you sell for them 30,000, they sell 35, they take the 5, give you 30. That is how Next operates. That is the operation of Next. But what we normally see every day, we are fucking angry is that what we normally see every day, when we come to supply, that fire extinguisher machine there, they will be servicing it every blessed day. They will be owning it and be disturbing every day. But today, they are not here to be found. They are not here to be found. My goods that Next have not signed is over 4.5 million. Non-sign. I don't even know where I will start from. Where will I start from? I know what my mates are doing, but I don't do. This is where I think.
Because you are not lazy.
I'm not lazy.
You know you are not lazy.
I'm not lazy. Where will I start from now? You want me to go back to the state? Where will I start from? I came from all the way from Port Harcourt. I supply Next in Port Harcourt.
What is the amount of your amount?
My amount is 4.5 million naira. Goods that have not been signed. I'm not talking about one that have been signed. One that have been signed is 8 million. That is inside the mall already. This one have not been signed. 4 point something. My friends will be asking me every day, are you a Yahoo? But I'm not. This is where I eat from. Because I give them, I come and do promo. I sell. I take my check every month. My boss is calling me. I can't even pick his call. Where will I start? Because he warned me. He said you are taking January and February goods at the same time. How will you pay? I said, boss, I've been doing this now. We pay. So where will I start from? Where will I go from?
Fire service should improve.
Sorry, your name please. My name is Godfather.
Now, that's one of the give me a sec. 1 moment. So that's one of the suppliers, one of those who lost their goods there. So the clip I wanted to show you where Nigerians were doing their usual. God knows, maybe stuff is part of what they were stealing here. So that is what happened in Abuja today. The federal capital of Nigeria has no real fire service, working. Normally, fire service works 24/7. And you can say what happened to Next Abuja having their own fire service, working on the side for a moment like that. But the saddest part is the last part I just showed you there, where Nigerians saw the opportunity. And I don't know if you have actually noticed that the reason why I decided to use Nigerians in this regard is that in this act of no empathy, no sympathy, no real feeling, no human feeling, especially if they are doing it to other people, yeah, it cut across all tribes, all religion. You will see a Hausa man there, you will see an Igbo man there, you will see Yoruba man there, you see every manner of Nigerian there doing that exactly what you saw in that video. No sympathy, no nothing. And if you dare try to stop them, you are likely going to get attacked by Nigerians asking you, what's waiting be your business? That is the exact mentality of those in charge of their government too. The same thing, where everyone try and take advantage of the other. Whatever it is now, people who lost their, and that's what has been happening all over Nigeria, where fire, sudden, unexpected fire, just from somewhere. And before you know it, no fire service inside Abuja, Federal Capital Territory. Now picture the rest of the country in a situation like that. There's been endless fire everywhere. A failure of a country. Yeah. Another thing also happened today. Just another example of a failed country. And this particular one is a kidnap attempt. Right? Nigerians who see through all these things, but choose to be kind of indifferent. I have told you why. And somehow when we have a platform like this that reminds us that the victims of today, they were survivors of yesterday. Those of you who are going to be victims tomorrow, you are going to be the survivor of today. That tomorrow is not like the way they say, you don't know tomorrow. Tomorrow is a Monday. Tomorrow, Monday. When the Nigeria that is happening to everyone, that some people pretend or find excuses to explain it away. It's so convenient for some people. No, it's not that bad. So if you survive today, tomorrow you may not. If you survive it tomorrow, many of us have survived it to this point. But guess what? We were just like people, they will say your days are numbered. Something Nigerians don't want to easily agree with. But every day this happens. So something happened today. And it happened right there in Imo State. You know, there has been this envelope of lies, uncertainties, innuendos, fake news, and so many other things that has made reporting the true event, the true things going on in Eastern Nigeria to Nigerians all over the world, to tell them that this is what is going on. These are the people behind this. And it is easier to know if you pay attention. The reason why it's been like that is because those behind it are the politicians. Everything going on in Eastern Nigeria, they have been the politicians from that part of the country, Eastern Nigeria. So unfortunate that they continue to drag the IPOB, the Biafrans who are agitating for self-determination, asking for a referendum. They continue to tag them into it. And the reason why it continues to get somehow complicated. So for some of you, not to me, I don't see any complication here. There may be some, what do you call it? Zigzag here and there, right? But we can tell you the people behind the terror in Eastern Nigeria, their financier and why. And we can tell you those they are setting up as victims, so that they needed to put something out there as people to blame. IPOB fit into that. And there they are. But you see, something happened today. Uche Nwosu, this Wahala, before Hopeless Uzodinjo, there was no unknown gunmen in Eastern Nigeria. No unknown gunmen. Yes or no? Yes or yes, rather. There was no unknown gunmen. But immediately, Hopeless Uzodinjo came. Somehow, the narrative changed. They did the meeting, put everything together, and decided to go on a murderous campaign. But they needed to put some people and blame some people for it. Hopeless Uzodinjo, Uche Nwosu, Rocha Sokorocha, who else? Their political disagreement and their political, what do you call it, rivalry that created all the crisis, including the assassination of people in Eastern Nigeria. Something happened today. Maiyegun waiting happen. Then kidnapping Wosu. Do you know what would have happened? What would have happened? What could have happened there? They went to the church. Today is Sunday. Boxing Day. Uche Nwosu, who is in-law to Rocha Sokorocha. Rocha Sokorocha is the immediate governor, immediate pastor, governor of Imo State. Hopeless Uzodinjo, when they did APC primary in Imo State, Uche Nwosu, Okorocha's son-in-law, was declared winner. Somehow, Abuja rejected that, and they brought the person that came forth in that primary election, Hopeless Uzodinjo. Meanwhile, Hopeless Uzodinjo himself has no real political base to push Okorocha out. But somehow, he was able to convince them in the Buhari cabal. Hopeless Uzodinjo, from nowhere, not much participation in the election, was declared winner. All hell let loose. Unknown gunmen was birthed. People started getting attacked. Politicians. Uche Nwosu, who crossed over to another political party, I think he crossed to AA, I don't know. Uche Nwosu was in church today with his family, and he got kidnapped. I'll share that video with you. It's a long video, so take your time, watch it if you have the time, or if you have seen it before, watch it again before I continue. But do you know what could have happened if Uche Nwosu died during the attempt to kidnap him? Do you think the Imo State police will claim that they were the ones who tried to kidnap him? Don't you think they would then blame it on IPOB or blame it on unknown gunmen? This is why, right? Uche Nwosu has his own security men protecting him and his family. They were outside protecting his car. Then this squad of police, according to them, the kidnappers, they came to that church. They went straight for him and they dragged him. They dragged him out while everybody was like, what's going on? What's going on? With guns and everything. Everybody pushed back. His own security men, they couldn't rescue him. The next thing, they opened the boot of a car, the trunk of a car. They pushed him inside. They closed it and they drove off. Do you know that if he was killed during that operation, Imo State police will not claim responsibility. They would dump his body somewhere, and immediately they will release a statement. Unknown gunmen killed